I don't get this team. Honestly, this team, some teams on this channel, I'm puzzled by them at preview or at the paste, but then I kind of figure it out as I go. This team looked to me like it made more sense to me in the paste than it is doing when I actually play games with it. But again, it's probably a me thing, right? The team made day 2. I think we can give it the benefit of the doubt and say it's probably pretty good. Well, I need to do something here. I was scrolling through the teams from the Seville Special Event this past weekend, as I tend to do when there's an event. And I do plan to feature the team that won, but this one also caught my eye because of Arbalova and Raichu. And since I have Gen 1 on the brain right now, of course I had some Gen 1 random battle content go up a couple days ago. Go check that out if you haven't. Gen 1 is crazy. I always have a lot of fun when I play it on Showdown. Those random battles were really something. But because I have Gen 1 on the brain, we're going to feature Raichu today. And the team that won the Seville Special Event will probably be next time. This is a pretty unusual looking team in a few ways. It does have this Calm Mind Kyogre, and I think it has some of the supports for this Kyogre do make quite a lot of sense to me, actually. You have, of course, its friend Tornadus, setting up Tailwind for it. I noticed also this is a Weather Ball Tornadus, so it gets a strong water type attack of its own, or I guess fire if the opponent sets up Sun, to complement its Bleak Wind Storm coverage. But what's really interesting to me about this Kyogre is that it has the Grassy Seed, and it's paired here with Arbalova. So Kyogre is naturally a very specially bulky Pokemon, base 140 special defense, I think. The physical defense is where it's a bit more vulnerable, but on this team, as long as you get your grassy terrain up, you get that defense boost from the Grassy Seed, you get the chip recovery from the terrain, and Kyogre, especially if it starts setting up Calm Minds, gets significantly harder to remove. Now, Arbalova is not Rillaboom. It doesn't set the terrain immediately on switch in, and it's a Pokemon that you don't see too often in this format. It has been used in the past by Trick Room teams to shut off an opponent's psychic terrain by switching to grassy terrain, but the way that its Seed Sower ability works, I was kind of surprised to see it here at first. Now I understand it as a support for the Kyogre. The way that Seed Sower works is when it's hit by an attack, then grassy terrain goes up. So if Arbalova switches in at the right time, or just, it's sitting on the field and the opponent has to remove it, and it can be kind of a hassle for the opponent, right, with Leech Seed and Strength Sap, chipping down the opponent's HP or damage. Strength Sap, again, also weakening the opponent's physical attacks, so Kyogre's life is somewhat easier. Then they might want to focus down, try to remove Arbalova, but as soon as they attack it, the grassy terrain goes up. Kyogre gets its Grassy Seed, it gets its recovery. Arbalova also has some recovery of its own with the leftovers. It's a fairly specially bulky Pokemon. It could be tricky to remove in some situations. With Strength Sap, again, it can lower opponent's attack stats, so yeah, it can sit on the field for a while as well. And of course, it is a normal type as well as a grass type, so Shadow Rider Calyrex can't remove it with Astral Barrage. I don't know whether that's going to be especially relevant for this team, but it is another reason that Arbalova sees some play in this format. Then we have the Raichu, and this is definitely a team sheet error. Raichu doesn't get Volt Absorb. I'm sure they meant Lightning Rod, and that's what I have in the Showdown builder. The Air Balloon is interesting to me. I don't necessarily, obviously it's to cover for ground type attacks. I don't necessarily know more specifically. Maybe Landorus, because I could see Landorus giving some trouble to this team. Obviously Kyogre is an offensive threat to it, but Landorus has higher base speed, and Sandsear Storm gets its accuracy buffed by the rain. What else runs a ground type attack in this format? There's Groudon, there's Dondozo sometimes, in fact even on this very team. But yeah, Air Balloon Raichu, I don't know, maybe just because the Focus Sash was occupied by Tatsugiri. I'm not sure what went into the building decision there, but this is a Terra Fairy support Raichu, so this is largely the Miraidon answer. Arbalova actually also can help to answer Miraidon, because if it takes an attack, it changes the terrain. But unlike Rillaboom, Arbalova does have to take an attack to change the terrain, so Miraidon can still blast through it in some situations, I'm sure. Terra Fairy Raichu is a well-known Miraidon answer. Of course, with Lightning Rod, it's immune to electric-type attacks. And with the Fairy Terra, it becomes immune to Draco Meteor. I can still take damage from Miraidon Dazzling Gleam, but that's not quite as dangerous as those other attacks, especially before Miraidon Terastallizes. And this one has a full support set. Fake Out and Nuzzle, causing flinches or paralysis, and no doubt creating openings for Kyogre to click Calm Mind, as does Encore to punish passive play, and then of course Feint can break protects and help teammates like Tornadus and Kyogre make the most of their rain turns. Last thing here is the, well, first thing in the list, but last thing I'm talking about is the Dondozo-Tatsugiri duo. It seems like a little bit of an odd fit on this team. I don't know exactly why that's the other mode here. I mean, it is a strong, bulky, hard-to-remove physical mode to go with the special one with Kyogre. But yeah, I don't really have any insight on why this is what... I didn't say the player's name, did I? This was used by a player named Jaime Vélez Jimenez to make Day 2 in Seville. I don't know what went into this specific decision, and I noticed that Arboliva and Raichu could also be very valuable for supporting a Dondozo. Arboliva helping it to stick around with Pollen Puff, boosting its damage with Helping Hand, and so on. Raichu with the Nuzzle and Feint again. But this is not a team that removes its own Tatsugiri. It's Sash Tatsugiri, there's no Toxic Orb, there's no Perish Song. Once Tatsugiri goes into Dondozo's mouth, it's just staying there. So you cannot get Arboliva and boosted Dondozo or Raichu and boosted Dondozo on the field together. You can't use them with unboosted Dondozo. There may be situations where that's the thing to do. But yeah, I don't necessarily know how those pieces fit together with the rest of the team. Maybe we'll find out as I play this on the ladder. It is a Rocky Helmet Rest Talk Dondozo, which I've used on the channel before and found a little bit iffy. Mostly because I missed having Protect. I think Dondozo really likes to have Protect, and this set doesn't, but it could still be valuable in some matchups. We'll jump in and find out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to using the Arboliva, especially, and also the Raichu, because I am a little bit Gen 1 brained right now, like I said. Okay, so right off the bat, we get another Kyogre team. This one, more offensive. Well, sort of. They have the Urshifu and Chien-Pao, but then they do also have the Amoonguss for support. Yeah, I don't know how to play into another Kyogre with this team. Raichu could be valuable. I mean, I don't have Electro Web. Electro Web could be nice into Kyogre, Tornadus, if this is a Rapid Strike Urshifu, even Chien-Pao to slow it down. I don't have that. But setting up Calm Mind Kyogre... Or maybe this is a Dondozo game, actually. I don't know. Urshifu always crits Dondozo. It might depend on what form it is, because of course Surging... if it's Rapid Strike form, Dondozo resists its guaranteed crit move. And it'll take extra Rocky Helmet damage. And with Sleep Talk, Dondozo doesn't care that much about Amoonguss. There is the Iron Hands. It's Terra Grass Dondozo, so if I position it right, I think this is probably a Dondozo game. Does that mean I don't bring my Restricted and I play Dondozo like it's my Restricted, or do I bring both? I don't think I need Arboliva this game. I kind of want to lead Torn Ogre or maybe Raichu Ogre and then have the Dondozo Tatsugiri stuff in the back. Maybe that's a little bit weak to Amoonguss, so I'll go Tornadus instead of Raichu, but I will do that approach. Okay, Kyogre, Iron Hands. So they have Fake Out Pressure. It is Covert Cloak Tornadus. So I can just Tailwind here. And I guess I'll protect Kyogre because that's probably where the Fake Out is going. Maybe I should just click Calm Mind. I'm also, you know, I do have the Wild Charge to worry about. Actually, I'm in a bad position because this is, well, okay, they might have bailed me out here. I can get Dondozo in here. I can Terra Grass. Yeah, what I was going to say is this is not the typical Terra Grass Kyogre, it's Terra Ground, so it would be immune to a Wild Charge, but then it would get blown up by their Water Spout. So, honestly, if Tornadus hadn't gone down there, I don't know what I would have done. But, I do get Dondozo in now, and that means I can just switch Kyogre up for Tatsugiri and click Earthquake. Oh, I do want to Terra Grass, though, to cover for a Wild Charge. And then I still have Kyogre in the back to maybe clean up the endgame if I need it. But I hope you like water types, because that's all I have left now in this game. Okay, their Kyogre protects. I thought it might be Choice, but we see now that it's not. Earthquake does a lot to Iron Hands. They low kick the Tatsugiri slot. Perfect. I don't have Order Up on this Dondozo, so these are the only attack boosts I'm getting. So good thing they don't have Incineroar on the team to intimidate me. I'll just go for another Earthquake here. Pretty safe. They can switch their Tornadus in if they brought it, but everything else is not going to enjoy taking Earthquake. Okay, it's a Mungus. Air Grass, Iron Hands. But Iron Hands is taking so much damage already. They could Drain Punch. Yeah, that doesn't do that much, though. Actually, it net loses HP with the Rocky Helmet. Dondozo is nice and boosted. I said that I wasn't worried about Amoonguss because I have Sleep Talk, but of course, Dondozo also is a ground type now, so it's immune to Spore. They could Sludge Bomb, and for that reason, I'm going to try to maximize damage into Amoonguss this turn, and I will Earthquake again. They bring Tornadus in, but I'm looking to hit Amoonguss with this. Clear Smog, okay. Yeah, so without Order Up, that means Dondozo gets no more boost for the rest of this game, but there's not really anything for me to do here except keep attacking with it. I don't see Clear Smog super often anymore. I was more worried about Sludge Bomb, but it still makes sense. Okay, they pivot Amoonguss out to Iron Hands. They Bleak Wind. If I remove Iron Hands, I don't quite get the KO. Removing Iron Hands would have been nice for Kyogre in the back. But that'll get knocked out soon, and I think it's a Tailwind, though. Amoonguss is very low. I hope they don't set Tailwind. Okay, they just Bleak Wind. But Tatsugiri is exposed. Do a big Drain Punch, and yeah, I think this one got away from me. The Clear Smog Amoonguss really just blew me up here. Oh well, that happens. Low-kick Kyogre. It doesn't KO, so... Wait, it's Surf? I thought I clicked Muddy Water. I didn't realize I had Surf. It doesn't matter. Bleak Wind Storm is going to close this one out now. I didn't realize I was hitting my own Kyogre there. Why does it have Surf? Oh, is it to activate Seed Sower? It does spread damage, and also I can guarantee my own Seed Sower there. I guess that's something. Yeah, Tornadus closes this one out. Okay, so I didn't find the right way to use this team there. Well, I also just got blown up by the Clear Smog Amoonguss, which, of course, in open team sheet, I would know they have. But, anyway, let's go for another one here. This, of course, was the last weekend of Reg G events, so this ladder might be a little bit on the dead side now. There is nothing left to practice for in Reg G. But hopefully someone's still playing. Hopefully there are some real enthusiasts of the format. This is an interesting team. Alright, we got Terrapagos with Magmar, Comfey, and Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. So 2 Follow Me users and priority healing. That's going to be Calm Mind Terrapagos. Which looks like a rough time for my Calm Mind Kyogre. However, this might be... I could bring Dondozo to this one and try to overpower Terrapagos on the physical side, but I think I would rather get Arboliva and Raichu into a game. And of course I could paralyze the Terrapagos with Nuzzle. I do have to remove its redirection support, but Kyogre can help with that. Again, Terra Ground Kyogre, though, I'm not loving here, because of course it doesn't help into Wood Hammer or Power Whip from Ogerpon at all. So yeah, the Terra Ground Kyogre is feeling pretty strange. I hope that wasn't a team sheet error, too. But maybe they were just... I mean, there are other answers to Miraidon on this team, so it seems unlikely that it would be for that. But I don't know. Anyway. I'm just gonna do this. I don't know how best to approach this. The best way probably involves Dondozo, but I want to try the other Pokemon on the team. Okay, Ogerpon and Terrapagos. I kind of want to just attack and try to get rid of this Ogerpon immediately. Does that make sense? I could also try to taunt Terrapagos. It could be redirected by Ogerpon, but of course Ogerpon can't click Follow Me and an attack at the same time. Let's see if they let me do this. And let's see if I freeze the Ogre. Is it not Calm Mind Terrapagos? Kyogre just drops to a Power Whip. And they just tear a Starstorm. And I have, like, no damage left, so... yeah, played this one wrong. That's for sure. Well... I think they crit Arboliva with Ivy Cudgel. I don't know that that's making the difference in this game. And I'm down to just Raichu already. Yeah, I don't get this team so far. Probably skill issue, because this team made day 2 at a regional level event, and, you know, that's a pretty big accomplishment. None of my teams have ever done that so far. But there's something that is not connecting for me here. I mean, I do think Dondozo might well have been the right call, and I said that at preview, but I also said that I wanted to try something else. Here we've got Lugia with Alola, Ninetales, Amoonguss, Incineroar, Rillaboom. Surely this is a Calm Mind setup team, right? Surely. Lugia sometimes run Covert Cloak, so I'm not as eager to try to nuzzle that. Good Encore. Honestly, maybe I just try to set up... Once again, Terra Ground Kyogre feels so weird to me because it has no way to help itself deal with the Rillaboom. And so I'd like to set up Calm Mind Kyogre here, I think, but Rillaboom just ruins its day anytime it comes in. I can pivot out to Arboliva, but then I don't keep any Calm Mind boost. Maybe I need to be aggressive with the Tornadus, or, once again, maybe I need to bring Dondozo, but they have Incineroar, and Dondozo doesn't have Order Up, so... I don't get this team. Honestly, this team... Some teams on this channel, I'm puzzled by them at preview, or at the pace, but then I kind of figure it out as I go. This team looked to me like it made more sense to me in the paste than it is doing when I actually play games with it. But again, it's probably a me thing, right? The team made day 2. I think we can give it the benefit of the doubt and say it's probably pretty good. Well, I need to do something here. And I don't know what. Yeah, leading Terra Ground Kyogre into this Rillaboom I don't like very much. They also activate my Grassy Seed, so... I mean, maybe the defense boost is supposed to carry me through this. I would like to try to paralyze the Lugia, but I guess I have to just be aggressive into this Rillaboom right now. So I'll fake out and Ice Beam that. Maybe the Grassy Seed is the key to dealing with things like Rillaboom, but then there are still the Ogerpon matchups. And again, Terra Ground, I mean... I'm sure it's helpful to be right on. Terra Grass and a lot of special bulk. Like, natural special bulk. Like Kyogre has a high special defense stat. That's pretty valuable in Miraidon too. And this team has Terra Fairy Raichu. And it has Arboliva. So there are Miraidon answers. What am I missing? Let me know in the comments if you can tell. Genuinely, I'm wondering whether the Ground Terra is a team sheet error. Maybe I'm only thinking that because of the Volt Absorb Raichu in the team sheet. I do want to give this player the benefit of the doubt, like I said. Yeah, I'm just going to Ice Beam Rillaboom. Looks like it'll probably KO. I'm going to try to nuzzle Lugia. Maybe I should Encore instead. Okay, no Covert Cloak. Good. Rillaboom's not quite KO'd. But they go for the Wood Hammer to Raichu, so that'll knock Rillaboom out. So yeah, I guess the answer to Rillaboom is just get the defense boost and Ice Beam away. I would have liked to Encore the Lugia. I can taunt it, or I can go Arboliva and Leech Seed it. I could go Arboliva, Terra Water, Leech Seed now that the Rillaboom is gone. I don't dislike that. They have Amoonguss. That will not be able to redirect the Leech Seed, of course, because Arboliva is a Grass type. I can start to go for my own Calm Mind, but again, Terra Ground Kyogre, I can't make it immune to Spore. It's just Ice Beam, I guess. Get some big damage, maybe a Freeze. Yeah, it's big damage. I forgot to Terra... Wait, do I want to Terra Arboliva? Because then it can be Spored and Rage Powdered. Maybe this turn I didn't want to, but next turn I do. Kyogre's taking a nap. It's probably just going to get KO'd. I'm going to try to Pollen Puff it. What am I doing about this Amoonguss? Arboliva has a reasonable special attack stat. That is another thing it brings to the table. So obviously Pollen Puff into Amoonguss is probably not the worst damage. If I don't Terra Water, I get blown up by Aeroblast. If I do Terra Water, I can be Spored. Given that I have the Leech Seed into Lugia, I'm going to do it. and just try to pressure the Amogus with damage whenever I can. That Aeroblast still does so much. Hey, we take that Pollen Puff at least. If Kyogre wakes up here on the first possible turn, then I can remove the Amogus and be okay. Otherwise, I'm in danger. Oh, it does wake up. Okay. Alright, some luck there. But I guess we take that, and they crit me. Of course, Aeroblast is a boosted crit rate. That's not especially lucky for them. But this Tornadus doesn't have Rain Dance, so I can't get Rain back up here. This Urshifu is single strike form, so it can crit through the defense boost and hit through Protect. I'll just try for my Calm Mind anyway, and if I can knock it out with Bleak Wind Storm. Nope, it's faster. My stuff, maybe this is supposed to be fast Kyogre on this team. I don't know the spreads. I saw a Calm Mindset and went bulkier, but Urshifu is a higher base speed than Kyogre anyway. It was probably always going to be faster. Alright, maybe they'll be fully paralyzed forever. That's the out here, where they miss all their Aeroblasts. But even then, how long until they only have 4 left? I might be in struggle range, I don't know. The game ended here, so they connected. Yeah, okay. So 3 games, 3 losses. I have, I think, been more negative about this team than I usually am in a video like this. I mean, I think I've been fairly clear, but as always, when this happens, my first assumption is that I probably just don't understand how to play the team, because I'm picking it up for the first time. I chose this team because it was interesting to me, and it was interesting to me because it was different from anything I'd seen in this format before, and it used a couple of relatively unusual Pokemon. So I'm really puzzled by some of the team building choices here, but again, my first assumption is probably not that those choices are bad, but that I just am having trouble figuring them out. Like I said, skill issue. That said, I'm really not connecting well with this team so far. Not gonna lie about that, wherever the problem is, and I hope I've been clear enough about that. This is not a team that I personally would want to pick up and try out again after this, but I do plan to play, but I will keep playing until I win a game. I don't want to end on no wins. But of all the tournament teams that I've featured here lately, again, I want to be clear, I'm not saying this is the worst. I am saying this is the one that I've had the most trouble with, I think. This team looks pretty scary. They have a Rillaboom and a Sinistcha. And they have Incineroar. Oh, they have 3 grass types, actually, and an Incineroar. So I don't love Kyogre setup, I don't love Dondozo setup. Maybe Dondozo's okay anyway, because they have a lot of Pokemon that will take Rocky Helmet chip, although not if they remove the Rocky Helmet. Maybe I want to throw Dondozo at this Ice Rider Calyrex anyway. Honestly, Tornadus is pretty strong here, because it could blast a lot of these Pokemon with Bleak Wind Storm. They probably have, what's it called, Wide Guard on the Iron Valiant, but I can fake it out, I can Nuzzle it, maybe Encore it into something else. And that's why I'm leading Tornadus Raichu? Tornadus Kyogre. I guess if I want to bring Dondozo mode, then I don't have room for my restricted here. I definitely want Tornadus, and I'm pretty sure I want Raichu. If I bring Kyogre, then I can't set up Dondozo. And they have Rillaboom, they have Wellspring Mask Ogerpon, they have Sinistcha, they have Iron Valiant. I don't think I bring Kyogre to this. Okay, Tornadus and Calyrex. If they want to set Trick Room, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. I think I'm down to just click... Oh, I can taunt the Calyrex, actually. But if I'm doing that, I'd better fake it out. But that means I don't get a fake out or a Nuzzle into Iron Valiant. I'm gonna do it anyway. Coaching. Okay. Alright. We'll go ahead and use my Terra here. The Iron Valiant did not have a booster energy. It hasn't boosted its speed, but it's probably still faster than Raichu. Okay. Just paralyze the Calyrex. Raichu's faster than the Iron Valiant. I could have... I mean, they went for coaching again anyway, but if I Encore Iron Valiant there, then I don't have to worry about Wide Guard. Doesn't matter, they didn't use Wide Guard. To knock out Raichu and get to +3 attack. I have paralyzed the Calyrex, so it could get fully paralyzed. I also could potentially just boom it with Dondozo here, but at +2 defense, I have Unaware, right? Tell me I have Unaware. Okay, good. I don't have to worry about the +2 defense. I do have to worry about Rage Powder from Sinistcha. Dondozo doesn't have Protect, so I can't Protect through this turn. I think I want a Bleak Wind. Or Taunt Sinistcha. But what damage do I have into Sinistcha after Tornadus goes down here? I think I want a Bleak Wind. And, yeah. Let's try to remove Sinistcha if I possibly can. I do get the KO with a Bleak Wind crit. Get some big damage into Calyrex. First Dondozo is ignoring its defense boosts, like I said. Dondozo is also ignoring its attack boost, so we're not that worried about +4 attack here. We get Tatsugiri in, get Dondozo boosted. Did they bring in Incineroar? They did bring in Incineroar. But since I saved Dondozo for the late game here, they only get 1 Intimidate into it. Which is, you know, something. They can fake me out, and I don't have Protect, so there's not really anything I can do about that. But I'll try to remove the Calyrex if I can, and then Incineroar shouldn't be able to win the end game, even if it removes Dondozo somehow. Oh, nice, full para. We did it. Even if it removes Dondozo somehow, I think Incineroar almost certainly loses to... Well, not I think. Incineroar almost certainly loses to Tatsugiri. The only way it doesn't is if I miss all my moves. Parting Shot. Okay, they still have that way to lower attack, but the Calyrex is so low now. And they also get fully paralyzed again. So Nuzzle Raichu actually... they tried to Protect and got a third full para. Nuzzle Raichu actually coming in kind of clutch this game. They'll lower Dondozo's attack, but Incineroar, yeah, doesn't have an answer to that, plus Tatsugiri in the back. So hey, I did get a win with this team after all my griping. I just played the Tornadus aggressively to remove the Iron Valiant, and then Dondozo was able to set up and win. So I guess I found roughly the right mode in this matchup. I did also get a lot of full paras with the Nuzzle from Raichu, but one, that's one reason you run Paralysis. That kind of thing can happen. And two, I don't know that it was that important to this game, with the Unaware Dondozo ignoring Calyrex's boosts. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like I found more or less the right mode in this game. I still kind of was... I was stressing a little bit, because that Bleak Windstorm could have missed the Sinistcha. I don't know whether it would have one-shot without the crit. The Iron Valiant not clicking Wide Guard was pretty helpful to me when they were setting up, instead, coaching boosts that were not that valuable into Dondozo in the back. So there were ways that my opponent could have played this that would have been a lot harder to deal with, but this one game went pretty smoothly. Like I said, not trying to bash the team, not trying to bash the creator. I'm not going to... Not every team is going to play smoothly for every player. I had a lot of trouble with this one, but it's definitely an interesting team. I almost want to keep going and see if I can do more with the Arboliva, because it really didn't do much this video, but I think I want to just move on from this one. And there will be another team from Seville next week, and we'll see whether I feel more comfortable with that one.